Hi, welcome to the practice questions on being able to factorise into a single bracket. What I'd like you to do now is to pause the video, have a go at all three questions, and then when you're happy with your answers, restart the video, look through the model answers and see if you've made any mistakes. So if you pause the video now. Okay, question 1. If we're factorising is basically the reverse of expanding brackets. We need to put brackets into this expression. The way we do this is we have to start off, we've got two terms here and we need to look for a factor of both terms. A factor of 24 and 16 is 8. So what I am going to do is I'm going to write 8 outside a set of brackets. So write the 8, open a set of brackets. Now what I need to say is, what do I need to do to 8? What do I need to multiply it by to get to 24x? Well, 8 times 3 gives me 24, so 8 times 3x gives me 24x. That's the first term sorted. But then the next term, 8 times 2 gives me 16. It's positive 16, so I have my positive sign in between the two terms inside the brackets. First one, 8, open brackets, 3x plus 2 is your answer. For question 2, we do the same thing. We look for a factor of both 36 and 6. Well, a factor of 36 and 6 is going to be 6. So we can write 6 outside the brackets. But in this one, we've also got x that occurs in both terms. So we can also write x outside the brackets. Now I can open up my set of brackets. Same thing, 6x times what gives me 36x squared? Well, 6 times 6 gives me 36, but to get the x squared, I would need another x inside here because x times x gives me x squared. For the second term, what do I need to multiply 6x by to give me 6x? Well, that's clearly just 1. Question 3, this one's a lot more complicated. This was only occur in the higher paper, not the foundation paper. We've now got 3 terms. We've got x's, y's, numbers, powers in all 3 terms. What we need to do is we need to break this down and look at it slowly. The first one, look at each of the number terms in each of these terms. 9 is a factor of all 3, so we can start off and we can write 9 outside the brackets. But look for what else occurs in all 3 terms. I can see x and y in all 3 terms, so I can write x and y outside the brackets. But I can actually write more than that outside the brackets, because what I could now do is look for the smallest power of x and the smallest power of y in each of the terms. Start off with the x. I've got x to the 5, x to the 3 and x to the 6. X to the 3 is the smallest power, so I can write x to the power of 3 outside. Same with y to the 3, y to the 4 and y to the 5. Y to the 3 is the smallest power, so I can also write y to the 3 outside my brackets. Now it's just a case of saying, what do I need to multiply this by to get me to this term? Well, 9 times 2 gives me 18, so I can write a 2 in there first of all. And then I've got x cubed, I've got to get to x to the power of 5. Well, using your index laws, if you do x cubed times x squared, that gives me x to the power of 5. So I get 2x squared. Y cubed, to get me to y cubed, is just times in by 1. So I can leave that as it is. The second term then. Well, 9 times 1 gives me 9. I don't need to write the 1. X cubed times x cubed, well, that would give me x to the 6. So what do I need to multiply x cubed by? Just 1. I don't need to write the 1. Y cubed times y is going to give me y to the 4. So I just have y inside there. And finally, 9 times 3 gives me 27. x cubed times x cubed is going to give me x to the 6, so I can write x cubed inside there. And y cubed times y squared will give me y to the 5, so I can write y squared in there as well and close my brackets. I would check to see if it works. 9 times 2 is 18. X cubed times x squared gives you x to the 5. Y cubed times 1 gives me y cubed. Then the second one, 9 times 1 gives me 9, sorry. X cubed times 1 gives me x cubed, and y times y cubed gives me y to the 4. And finally, 9 times 3 gives me 27. X cubed times x cubed gives me x to the power of 6, and y squared times y cubed gives me y to the 5.